Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, Adam Cruz, and I have my fantastic co-host here,
Eddie Nicholas, and welcome to Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. And welcome to our wonderful little holiday special today.
I know. We're having a great time here.
Yes, we are.
We have to remind our viewers and our listeners that we're here every single week to give you the latest in music, business news, and trends from around the world. But we also want to enjoy this wonderful music. You know, we try to get down with that dope house music. Definitely check out freedomradiohour.com, DJAdamCruz.com, and of course, EddieNicholas.com for the latest in good music.
That's right.
And good information. So all we want to do today is really gather our folks here. We had an opportunity to have a bit of a get-together, and I couldn't let the moment pass without getting together and talking some music business thoughts. So we're here in the 2015. We're pretending, all right? You see my wing from here? Hi. So I'm pretending.
It's the holiday special, so we encompass 2015.
Well, what I want to look is onward, and I want to look towards 2015 and 2016 and see where we are at. We have various creative people in the house. You may not all see them in the shot right now, but we are in a room full of love, full of creative folks that everybody's kind of has a project, an EP, or some sort of creative expression that they're working on. We have those that are dancers in the house. We have those that are singers in the house. Those that work with children. You know that children are our future for real.
Yes.
So we want to really take this opportunity to talk about just what's happening in the market right now, but also like with our creative people. How do you find a way to really move forward toward the day? So I have my mic here, and we have the mic here. We're gonna
the traveling.
Yeah, we're going to spread it around. So when you talk, I want you to make sure that you introduce yourself. So here's kind of the question. I really just want to get a sense. In 2015, what are you looking most forward to in terms of your creative life? You know, what do you really see for yourself? And what's the biggest challenge that you faced in 2014 that you ought to really learn from? What in 2014 you're like, damn, you know, I really shouldn't have done that way, that we can sort of pass on the information, because I bet you somebody else is thinking about what you did and they can learn from you right about now. So let's start with our co-host, Eddie Nicholas. So we have 2015. We had the Do You Want to Dance EP, his brand new EP that will be coming in the new year. So that's something to look forward to. And he's also...
what? You telling all what?
Well, listen, I'm telling only the two tidbits. The first was the project, and the second was the fact that he's in a film entitled A Sub in Brick City, a wonderful independent film about the life of the Newark public school systems and more, I think.
Yeah, substitute teacher, you know, doing that album. Also tried to do a one-man show. Opportunities come down at Symphony Hall, you know, for any one of us that are artists, where you can come down, you can actually do a show, and all they're asking for is 50% of the tickets. They do your advertisement, your publishing, all of that stuff. They do it all. All you do is just give half of the door.
Right.
So it's something that many of us should be able to look into right here in Essex County. So that's being planned. And, of course, working with my children, trying to do my first children's album.
I know you've been talking about that for a while, a children's project. You know, sometimes we like put it together. Sometimes we want to do a children's album. Sometimes we want to do a holiday album. Sometimes it's a little bit of both, you know. But I think for the 2015, we'll look forward to that.
Yeah, doing something like
But
that.
we want to pass it on, because I do want to get the spotlight on someone who's really been in the game for a while, but also just kind of came back and trying to rediscover the new music climate, I like to say. We got Mark Mendoza in the building representing 280 West Radio and 280 West Productions. We want to make sure that we shout him out because he has a fantastic new EP that will drop at some point whenever he wishes. But the project is called the Milestone EP. And if he could talk about it very briefly about the project, and then we want to move on, because all we want to do is get a gauge of what everybody's working on for the 2015 and talk about what you hope to accomplish in the new year. So, Mark, talk about this Milestone EP, because it's dope.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Mendoza.
Yes.
Oh, I got to hold the mic first. Okay, well.
I hold it nice and close because we want to get...
Yeah. Well, as far as this EP is, you know, I've been a producer for a while, and I actually haven't produced anything for 8 years. And a lot of that has to do with, you know, the whole industry has changed.
But wait,
you know,
before you even go on, let people know what was you had a Billboard chart song.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you know, stuff like that. I've worked for two labels.
Rosie Gaines, Closer
Well,
Than
you know,
Close.
Yeah, stuff like that. Well, but anyway.
So humble.
Yeah, well, that's like early.
That's a great record, though.
It's early 90s stuff.
Yes, but it was a
Yes.
great record. Rosie
Yes.
Gaines is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and she used to be the background singer for Prince.
Yes.
Okay. But that doesn't mean anything. But anyway, no. But anyway, no. But listen.
And meanwhile, everybody in the room is like,
okay.
"Oh, ah."
No, but it was. But 2 years ago, I talked about this in my presentation. I call him Cuñao, Adam Cruz. He graduated from college, and I never did finish. I went to NYU, left in my senior year to work in the industry, and snap your finger, and all this time passed, and I never graduated. So Adam graduates, and that inspired me to go back to school, and so I did do that. And my major, like him, it was music technology, and this kind of like forced me to get back into the music. And so our final project, and I am graduating in December. So thank you, Adam, for that inspiration.
And we're going to ask you to hold that thought right there, Adam Cruz. Capital Radio 91.6 FM. We'll be back with you short.
Freedom Radio Hour. Live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM.
And we're back here live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM. You're deep in the zone at the Freedom Radio Hour, and we're having a great discussion with Mark Mendoza of 280 West Productions. Now, Mark, when you were graduating college, they wanted you to do a capstone project. Tell us more about that capstone.
The capstone is actually, producing an EP, an extended play thing, where it's basically, all the stuff that you learned in music technology. And I had to decide, what theme or what the concept was, and I decided on doing an EP, 4 songs on milestones in my life. So, one of the songs I did was with Diamond Temple, and it's a song called Back to You. And it's basically, the title's Back to You, but I took it as being back to me, which is going back to producing, which is, something I've always loved to do, but I haven't in a long time. And then another song was back in 2005. I went through cancer, and I did a song with Rescue Poetix, a great poet.
Yes.
And I asked her to do a song because she works for an organization that deals with cancer awareness, to do something about surviving that and that whole journey and that whole process. So I did a spoken word song with her, and that came out great. Yes. That's one milestone, and another milestone, and the reason I call him Cuñao, which in Boricua language is brother-in-law, is because I'll be married next May to his sister, and that's Flora Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
that's Flora Cruz in Boricua Villian.
Yes.
To you.
So as far as with that song, I figured we'd do a song that, that did a testimony to our love. And I had her do the lyrics, and I did the music, and she came here in this exact studio and did the lyrics with the help of Adam. And we put the music together, and we came out with a song called We Have Love. And that's another milestone in my life.
Great. So that's the Milestone EP. So check it out, Mark Mendoza. And definitely you want to check out Mark Mendoza Mixes. Just look him up on Google. I think it's markmendozamixes.blogspot.com. But if I'm wrong, just look him up. Mark Mendoza. You'll get a ton of mixes there and on Podomatic. Really, really great, talented DJ. And I also have to shout out my cousin Allah right in the house, because Allah is really the reason why I even got into this music, because at 10 years old, he really was asked me to be, he always kind of treated me not like a kid, just kind of like as a comrade. And long story short, he asked me to be involved with the music, just setting up a party one time, and I helped him set up his DJ equipment. He was the DJ in the family, and from there it was like I was just into it ever since. And then when he let it go, he handed me all of his equipment and all of his records, and instantly I had this like amazing collection. And it really, I've never been the same since. I think it's just because when you find something that you connect with so strongly, it almost nothing else you don't hear anything else. It's just about that at that moment. And I've kind of been like that for the rest of my life to a certain degree. So Allah, I gotta shout you out because you know what? The other thing too is that he really made a good point earlier in our event here. That others from other countries may have a kind of an idea about where he lives, and I think he should shout out some really cool places that he's really into. So take a moment, Allah, and think about it. Some dope places where he lives in Castle Hill in the Bronx. You know, he had this great story where someone was connecting with him from overseas and had a total misperception about the Bronx and was able to enjoy like this incredible experience. And I think it's important to mention some of the really dope spots in, you know, just around the way. And you may not think, oh, I shouldn't go there, but you should, because it's rich in culture. So Allah, my man, talk about some hot spots in the Bronx, would you?
Well, you come to my house first. Come to my house first. You get your drink on, listen to some music. Yeah. We can hum a couple of bars. Yeah. Eddie, how you do that, Eddie? I love Flora. How you do that, baby? Get it right, baby. Get it right. Yeah, well, we have a bunch of Latin spots. We got spots all over. We got hip hop spots.
I want to talk about Lorraine's. Isn't that a spot around the block? That's
around the corner. Yeah, we got a nice Latin place called Lorraine's. It's on Unionport Road in the Bronx, Castle Hill section of the Bronx. Nice spot if you want to hang out and chill. Older crowd, no little kids. If you like that vibe, that's where you want to go.
Well, they're very known for their classic salsa, right?
Yeah, classic salsa. You have bands there that perform on Saturday nights, and it's a good spot. You know, you go and free parking, and you go in there and you mention my name, and I don't think you get a drink or anything, but
they might be like, yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's great. I know him. Everybody in the room right here knows me. Yeah, but pretty much that's it. You know, I mean, I come out Saturday night.
That's right.
Saturday night.
Hey, let me talk about what Nandi and Ella are up to. So Nandi, not just being a great person, is a fantastic cook. She has the ability to make regular items taste phenomenally. All right, so Nandi has really just been a creative person, and I like to stick around creative people, whether they're good, be it if they're able to cook a really good meal, if they could hum a tune, if they could host a good party. I want to know about you. So I want to shout out Nandi here and give her a big plug of what she's into. And also Ella, who not only teaches Zumba and although actually she teaches a bunch of other things. I don't want to pigeonhole her in any way. But also Ella has a lot of dance background and just is a very creative person. She also is in touch with empowerment and different tools for empowering yourself, especially as a woman, a person in this universe who's trying to just make a better way for yourself, and Ella is very good at that. Also, as a sidebar, when we were giving birth to our son, Ella was our doula, so she has that experience as well. She's a phenomenal person. So I want to shout out Nandi and Ella, and then I want to end with talking with Rescue Poetix, a wonderful poet and artist in this whole game. And then we're going to just plug what we're doing and see you guys next time. So Nandi and Ella, give me some flavor. Talk about all that creative spirit that you guys bring forth. I was purposely not looking at them, you know, because I wanted to see what would happen.
What did you just
I want to know, like, you know, where do you get your creative dopeness from? You know, like, you're a really good creative. How do you nurture your creative spirit? When you're cooking something, how is it that you're able to develop something that has so much soul in it, has so much of yourself in that food? How are you able to translate that? Because that's not unlike writing a good song or putting together a good party or having friends over, you know?
Well, I guess because thank you for the compliment and the shout out. I'm happy to be here on the station.
Sure.
So I would say because I like to eat and I know what I like to taste. So, you know, and after a few years of making certain things and really getting into it, you kind of find a method that works, and you always try to test it to make sure it still works. So it's kind of, I guess we can get, you know, just being creative that way. That's all.
Well, it sounds a little bit like risk-taking, too, like trying things that you weren't sure might work.
No, that's the thing with cooking. You do know it's going to work. It's just a matter of knowing how much of what you need to put in it to make it taste good. Yeah. Like, a recipe's a recipe, so it's a little simple. But then, you know, you don't want to put too much of that or a little bit of nothing, and it's gross, so...
Well, the other thing, too, that I don't want to pigeonhole you as just this person that just has this ability to cook really well, but you also happen to be a really... creative person, and I also like your zest for life. You know, you're a person that's a parent, and it's really difficult when you're a parent to remember yourself. and give yourself make sure you have a social life, and you check in with other people that are not children, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a real thing. So
True.
what are you doing these days to continue to nurture your creative life that's apart from being a parent? Because that's hard to do.
Oh, I don't know. I think it all comes back. I was having a really interesting conversation with my mother the other day about Christmas and why it was so important to her father and mother, because it was always really magical as we can remember, but they both grew up pretty poor in the South, and I don't think they really had like these amazing Christmases. And so it's just about family, and and from that, they have passed that legacy on to my mother, my aunt, and then to me and my family. We understand the importance of family and love, so it's like we just make sure that always takes first over everything, just integrity.
Yeah, I definitely feel that, but also I get the sense that because you had that. No, but I think because you had that in mind, you remember yourself, meaning that you are able to let me go cut a rug somewhere one night, or let me, and that's. We forget ourselves a lot. You know?
Some people. Yeah, it's easy, but when you have kids, and I don't know. I'm a single mom, so maybe that's a little bit of it. It's just a matter of just being balanced and contentment. Like, I don't want to necessarily just be all about be a martyr for motherhood, which is not healthy for anyone. So it's just about just making sure that you spread your energy around to yourself and to your friends and to your child, in a practical way.
Well, I love hearing all that. Big shout out to Nandi. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to talk with Elo and with Rescue just about how they're nurturing their own creative spirits here at the Freedom Radio Hour.
Yes.
Definitely check out freedomradiohour.com, and we're here live on Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. We'll be right back.
All right.
Freedom Radio Hour.
And we're back here at the Freedom Radio Hour. I'm your host, DJ Adam Cruz, and I have my fantastic co-host here, Eddie Nicholas. We're shouting out. That's right. Welcome back to Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the Heartbeat of Sudan. We're here talking music, business, news, and trends from around the world. But this particular episode, we're about nurturing our creative spirits. It's all about how to maintain your creative get your creative juices flowing, so to speak, when you're dealing with real life situations like parenthood, marriage, or other aspirations. So I think it's important sometimes to talk with other creative people about what they do to nurture their creative spirits. So to continue our conversation, we've had great dialogues so far. We want to continue with Ella, who's a wonderful dancer, who also teaches dance classes and does a bunch of different things. I just love that she seems to really take time to remember herself. She even does these 30-day challenges for herself on how best to just, self-empowerment tools, real life things that you and I can just take advantage of. So I've been actually dying to talk with Ella about some different things, but I think for today's episode, I just want to talk with Ella about what she does to make sure that she remembers herself in the midst of raising her children and, being a professor and writing and blogging and dancing and all that good stuff that she's a part of. So Ella, shout out to you, first of all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And
talk, if you can, about what you do best to remember yourself in the midst of all the noise that is real life, and what you do to continue to nurture your creative spirit through dancing and teaching.
I think I want to echo a lot of what Nandi said about being inspired by love and family. And what I found in the last couple of years is that music really feeds me and nourishes me. And so really making a commitment to hear live music at least once a month, and to go out and to just be around art, I think has been really nourishing. And also really committing to a routine. So even when I don't feel like it, I'm going to a dance class, or I'm so that I'm really committed to something that's become a habit and it becomes a part of my life, and I don't feel right if I'm not around music or dancing.
That's wonderful. And if you wouldn't mind, if you could plug a blog or anything that you're posting about, because you also have a dance background and things that you're involved with. Any place where people can discover you a little more online?
I have a blog, a website, eloizajorge.com. It's JORGE.com. And I dispense some advice about how to better take care of ourselves and live a more full and alive life. And again, part of what helps is being around creative people like you and Nandi and the other people here, like really nurturing friendships that are where we support and love each other. A lot of it comes down to love.
Right, I love that. And then last year around this time, thank you, Elo. Elo talked, I think in the new year, it was like, 30-day challenge for like your new life or something like that. I don't want to misquote you, but I think that we could all take advice from that and take a lesson. And just in this new year, what can you start new on? Everybody has a resolution, but how about the anti-resolution? How about just living life? Very simply, you know. So thank you, Elo, for that. And Rescue, of course, not last but not least, is a wonderful artist. Oh, well, good, because I needed to talk to Miss Flora, but Flora was in the back, gave me the background vocals. So now she's in the foray here. So we have Rescue Poetics. Definitely check out rescuepoetics.com. And all of the links for anybody that the projects that they've got working on, I'll make sure to post them at freedomradiohour.com. You could always check it out there. But Rescue, first of all, thank you so much. This is the first time you're at Ebb and Flow Studios. This is where all the magic happens.
That's right.
And I want to talk to you about what you do to nurture your creative spirits. I mean, you're a person that's a poet. You have, your regular work. You also manage others, including Flora and I. You also work with a great show called Just Add Sound. That's at cyberjams.com on Thursdays from 7 to 8. I believe. And also just a lot of great projects that you have coming out. You also have a new single called Build. I want you to talk about that too. So Rescue Poetics in the building.
Thank you. And thank you for having me in the studio. It's a pleasure and an honor to be among such talented people and such warmth, because there's a lot of warmth in here. And by the way, hashtag Team Cruise. Just had to get that out there. All day. Well, to nurture creativity, I do work a full-time job, and I think when I think of projects, I don't think of them in terms of as projects. I think of them as building relationships. And when you're building relationships with people, people will inspire you in all kinds of ways with all kinds of things. Like just sitting in this room listening to everyone, I've been extremely inspired. And that goes, believe it or not, it ties in with Build. Build is a project that I have. It's the first release on Ndingagawa's new label, Global Diplomacy, Unity Through Sound, Volume 1. And when we initially talked about the project, his vision was the meaning of life. What is the meaning of life? What do we aspire to? What it is that we look for? What does life mean to us? And to me, it's about building up other people. And in building up other people, you build up yourself. So there is a certain serenity when you do for others without expecting anything in return. And that in itself comes back to you tenfold, whether you expect it or not, in ways that you would never think it would come back to you. No person that you come across is put there by accident. No door that is opened by accident. No door that is closed by accident. And it's a matter, I think we spend a lot of time as people trying to gather things to satisfy us, as opposed to living the things that satisfy us. Living love, living family, living passion, living the things that make us creative entities, creative spirits, in order to carry this on to others. And I'm inspired on a daily basis by a bunch of different people, things that I see on a regular basis. Social media is great for that, because there's people that I've connected to in Greece, people I've connected to in Indonesia, and all over the world that I normally would not have gotten to meet or know about.
It makes the world like so small yet so large at the same time. It's like a weird feeling, but
Absolutely.
I get that.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. I mean, a person is just a click away.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I definitely love that spirit about you. Thank you so much. Definitely check out rescuepoetics.com. And like I said, she has a brand new single called Build. We played it on the season finale of our show for season 1. Definitely look back in the archives for that at freedomradiohour.com. And of course, last but not least, I want to talk to my good sister, Flora Cruz, right here. FloraCruz.com. She had a fantastic single as the follow-up to her debut album entitled Dulce Melodia. That's available everywhere. But I also want to make sure that we understand that Flora's got a single called Alegria that came out at FloraCruz.com. And also, she's part of the Milestone EP, Mark Mendoza's EP, about his own journeys in life. And so that song was called We Have Love. So Flora, talk if you can about what you do for your creative spirits. You know, you're also a parent. You have, you know, a full-time job that's not music related at the moment. You have a lot of other responsibilities that have nothing to do with what we do musically, but you find a way to continue to nurture that spirit. So what are you doing every day, or maybe every month, or whenever you get that feeling? What do you do to nurture that spirit within yourself?
Well, thank you, brother.
No doubt.
But as everyone, I think, stated a little bit, so I'll piggyback off of some of the statements that I heard here tonight. Yeah. But everybody finds inspiration, I think, in their daily lives. Family, their love for each other, different people, you know, surrounded by positivity. And I think, and I say this often, and people laugh at me, but when I turned 40, which I did in September of this year, I went through kind of like a transformation within myself on how I was going to get back musically come 2015. I mean, because I was working with Mark with this song, We Have Love, and I think this was the first time, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, where he kind of saw a different side. I mean, he knows I sing, and, you know, I know he produces, and, you know, you produce and you sing, but I think this was the first time where Mark was able to really connect with me musically.
You're so sweet. Let me switch it up. I think she means that he got the full Flora flavor. Let's keep it 100 for the 2015.
He gave me the track, and you know how you know, people who sing and they get the tracks, and all of us, there's a lot of singers in this room, you get a track and it's just like music and that's it. And then they're like, well, you write the lyrics and you get inspired, you know. And so I think how I get inspired is by, again, family. We have a big family. I mean, Mark's family's humongous, you know, and so intertwining our different heritages, you know, and different sounds of different music. His mother sings professional opera, and so getting all of that and being inspired by my brother, and, you know, him singing in Spanish, his like new, you know, Freedom EP, it's in Spanish, a lot of it, and I was so proud of him when he going through all that and correcting each other. And I think I get inspiration by the beauty that the world has to offer, because, and I don't know about you, but the things that have been happening in this world have really been tragic, and we don't have all the answers to everything, and it's very frustrating, and it causes a lot of division, especially with friends and, you know, co-workers and family, and, you know, a lot of different things. And so you pull from that. Even sometimes, even the negativity causes you to get inspired for change.
Yes.
So you take that and you're like, let me write about it, you know. And so since what's been helping me become a better human being is, you know, falling in love again after going through divorce many years ago, you know. And so for me, you know, that's how my Overcome album became, you know, I gave birth to that through that event. But this event, I think, it's a beautiful love story about not just us, but his journey as well. So I think I draw, you know, inspiration. My family means everything to me, my friends. And if anybody who knows us, you know, our circle is very small and very tight for a reason, you know, so because it helps me to stay true to myself.
Well, I love that. Definitely check out the We Have Love track. Definitely just go to youtube.com and search out Mark Mendoza, and you'll get a snippet of the We Have Love track along with the other songs as part of his Milestone EP. I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming through. Definitely check out freedomradiohour.com, djadamcruz.com, eddienicholas.com, and of course, we have all this great flavor. I will be posting link for everybody's projects as they wish to share them, and definitely check out everybody, because what I want to get across here is that in order to be creative in this life, no matter whether you're married, you have family, or whatever, you have to find a space to nurture your creativity. Find the one moment a day, or one moment a week, or a month, whatever you need to do to nurture yourself, because I think that's gets us closer to who we are as people. And if you get closer to who you are, you'll be in a better space, you know. So I just wanted to thank you guys. Shout out to Eddie.
That's it, because actually we capitalized on some of everything. We did
Yes.
music, we did nutrition, we did health. So we kind of covered all the bases.
Yeah, well, this is perfect for
so,
the
you know,
new year.
thank you all. Thank you all for joining us here. So, you know, we're very grateful that you came and you wanted to share some of your experience, some of your expertise, a lot of your love.
Yes,
So we
exactly.
greatly appreciate that.
All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much. See you next time.
Capital Radio 91.6 FM, the heartbeat of Sudan. Boom, 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 boom.
Peace.